everybody and welcome back today to Raven's channel. We have something a little special to talk about, something that's worrying us and something that maybe a lot of you may have heard about over the last few days. So first of all, my heart goes out to Greece right now. I can only imagine the fear that they are facing and the things that they are feeling. They are our neighbours and our fellow citizens. We have so many people from Turkey and around the world living there. It's just a very worrying time at the moment. The things that are going on, the volcano that is meant to erupt at some point, but they don't know when or if it actually will erupt. The thing is, it's going to affect Greece in such a terrible way. There'll be so much destruction if it was to go off. Now, I wanted to let you know that we are in Turkey and we are very, very close to the volcano and to the San Antonio island. So we are living in the coastal area, which is about 203 miles from the volcano itself. I'm just going to show you here exactly what I mean of where the volcano is and where we are. So from the 2nd of February, a state of emergency was declared in Santorini after the strongest earthquake was recorded in days of near constant tremors, which almost emptied the famous Greek tourists. Having loads of visitors and residents every year, many of them had to leave. On Wednesday evening, the first to exceed 5.0 since the tremors began last week. So the Greek Civil Protection Ministry on Thursday placed the island under a state of emergency until March 3rd to respond to the activity. Around 11,000 people thought to have fled the island, which attracts more than 3.4 million tourists every year and is home to 20,000 permanent residents. Hundreds of tremors which have hit Santorini every few minutes for the last few days have had a magnitude of around 3.0, and they're probably considered as slight quakes. So if you get ones that are like 5.0, like there was on Wednesday, these are considered like moderate. But if they are any higher than that, then they are considered as very dangerous. So what's going on in Santorini's most recent earthquakes are happening more often at the moment. It's basically like a storm of mini earthquakes. The most recent quake that they had was the 7.5 magnitude, which struck in 1956, killing at least 53 people and 100 others were injured. So what does that mean for me living in Turkey, 203 miles away from the volcano itself? What would we do if it happened? If it decided to erupt? How would we cope? What would we do? What's our plan? Well, we have been thinking every single night for the last 5 days with a plan of what we would possibly do if something was to happen. So the problem is because we are not so far away from it, if there was an earthquake that was over, let's say 7 to 8 magnitude, then that would cause a tsunami. And what happens is then that would give us around 30 minutes to prepare ourselves before the tsunami would reach our area. Now, as I showed you before, just recently on the map, how far away we actually are, it's pretty scary. Now, we have 7 cats and 1 dog, and it's going to be really difficult to try to gather them all together in such a state of an emergency. But if we were given 30 minutes in advance to know that there would be a tsunami on the way, we would have a little bit of time to gather all the cats together. Now, my main concern obviously is Miss Raven. She is the hardest to grab and even pick up. So I couldn't even imagine how I would react in that time if I had to get her and get her in the box as quickly as possible to get her out the house. All the others would be extremely fine and very easy. Okay, so what would we do if something was to happen? What's our plan? Okay, so I have 7 boxes set up ready in case of an emergency. We have blankets inside and the doors are open. Now, if I was to have to gather all of them together, I would get the easiest ones first, get them in the box, and then I would go for Raven, because Raven is the hardest to get in the box. And it would be such a struggle to try to do that whilst knowing that I could have grabbed 6 more to get in the box. Now, it's not that I just want to leave Raven till last. It's not. It's just I have to think about it in a more logical way, and the easiest way that would be more life-saving to the cats. We also have a dog, which we know that will probably just follow us wherever we go anyway. There's no need to panic or worry. The other things is that we are home 90% of the time. So if anything was like this was to happen, more than likely, we hope we would be at home. Now, back in 2012, there was a huge earthquake here in Mula, where we live, and it was a 6.5, and I was heavily pregnant at the time and ready to give birth within that month. And we was out, we wasn't at home. But I didn't have 7 cats then, or a dog. This time I have 7 cats, or 8 cats, shall we say, and a dog. So we've got bags ready by the door with all our passports and all of our, documents. We're keeping water and snacks in our bedroom. Food supply upstairs for the cats. We have left extra bowls of food every night for the last 5 days. We've left extra bowls of water around just in case. Now, if there wasn't going to be a tsunami, but an earthquake instead, which would then probably set off a million other earthquakes around, we are on the fault line of the quake. So if the quake was to happen here also, which it is due to happen one day, but we don't know when, then we would have to prepare ourselves in a different way, because we don't have 30 minutes before a tsunami. We just have literally 1 to 2 minutes to get out of the building before it crashes down. Many people have said that, don't worry about the cats, your life is more important, you have to get out as quick as you can, don't mess about trying to get all the cats in the boxes, just go, just get out the door and go. On the other hand, I don't know how I'm going to feel when it happens, or if it was to happen, how I would feel, how I would react. It just depends on the situation. It depends how strong the quake is. It depends how sturdy the building is reacting towards the earthquake, whether it gives me an idea or not, whether I should go up the stairs and try to gather as many cats as I can. For the last 12 years, we've been living in a city where we live on the fault line of a major earthquake line, which affects, I think, California and Istanbul. So we've known for many years, 12 years, that we are possibly at risk, but we choose to live here because it is one of the most beautiful places that we have ever been and ever lived in. A lot of people do ask me, will you ever go back to your own country? Will you one day decide to just take all your animals and go? Probably not. I've been here for so long now that I have become accustomed to the life here. It's relaxing. We have sun, although I'm not a sun person. I do enjoy having the sun above me, but if I'm inside with an aircon, that's fine. But I'm not really a beach person. You don't see me sunbathing on the beach for hours and hours. So there's another reason as well. Being here around the animals is so important to me. Even if I left and took my cats with me and my dog, I still would miss helping out the animals that need help here. But for now, nothing we can do about the Santorini earthquakes or the volcano. We just have to pray, and like I do every night before I go to bed, I pray that I wake up and everybody's safe and we're okay. So all we can do is just live our normal lives, carry on with our daily routines and hope for the best. And of course, if anything was to happen and the worst case scenario, I wouldn't be here and wouldn't be back on YouTube. I would like to say I do love you all, and again, thank you all for your support and supporting Raven. We truly appreciate it, and we have enjoyed every single minute of it so far. But in wishful thinking, it's not going to happen. I'm a positive person and I'm going to stay positive. I just wanted to share with you today what could possibly happen and where we actually are, because there's a lot of you that don't know where we are. You know we're in Turkey, but you don't know where exactly, and now you do. Now you can see how close we really are. So I look forward to all seeing you on the live tomorrow for Saturday Cataday Live. And we also have a video out tomorrow about why it's so important that we should try to give abused black cats a second chance in being adopted. I'm just going to leave you with a little bit of Raven content. She's asleep on the pink blanket, enjoying the sunshine. We've got the roof closed today because we have gale force winds and -4 degrees It is freezing. It's so cold. It's something that we are not used to here. So I'm going to just leave you with a small ending of the cats enjoying the sun through the balcony, and little Echo is in here too. He's running around playing. As you saw earlier, he was on my shoulder. He's hard work. He's a handful, I tell you. So take care, guys, and see you all next time. She looks so pretty with the roses behind her. Don't you, sweetheart? Yes. What's going on in there, Raven? Is that little monkey Echo being naughty?